Hey guys, it's Kevin. Today we're going to talk about some printers that prints quote unquote, but however, just print blank pages and no ink coming out. Of course, first you check if your printhead is clogged. You can either stuck a syringe and push the ink out from the nipples, or you can do cleaning, say if you get ink coming out from the waste tube. Then afterwards, you're going to check if your capping station is good. So move the printhead away from the capping station, then you suck ink from the waste tube. And if you just totally draw a vacuum, that means the capping station is clogged. And after that, of course, you're going to check the F1 and the F2 fuse. You might have one or two fuses on your mainboard and try to check if those fuses are intact. For model like L1800, it still can keep functioning without a working fuse, then it just auto-put black. And the next thing I'm going to check is the driver chip, the printer that sends digital signals from the CPU to this chip. And this chip converted to the strong current to the printer. For the printer to fire, it needs a really high current. So to help you understand this, I'm starting selling merch on my website. So here's the back of the shirt, and here's the front. Today I'm going to use XP600 or ET8550 as example. The whole secret of the printer working is like this. You hear people say the printer print at 42 volts. It's not incorrect. For the printers to be able to print, you will need an energy reservoir. Basically, you have to fill this up with 42 volts. And then after that, another pin is going to set the piezo. This takes care of if you still have a drop left on the piezo. It's basically just get everybody ready for the firing stage. Do house clean. Oh, by the way, I'm going to make another t-shirt about which pin on your mainboard is. So if you do a troubleshooting, you can track those pins and troubleshoot yourself. Then we have data and the clock and the shift register, and those just decide which pin on the register is going to be energized. And then you have another pin is called a latch. The latch lock the decision that transferred from those data. And then the EMB line is going to enable the block that's going to fire. The actual firing is not 42 volts. Actually, firing is from the COM ports. The printhead not only have one COM port, it have multiple COM ports. And then the VBS ports going to safely return the current. Oh, by the way, the printhead for ET8550 is XP600. Just call your printhead XP600 to make you more sophisticated, get more friends in the party. So here's the driver chip. You get two driver chips, and then each driver chip drives two silver MOSFETs. I have another video showing how to test and replace those MOSFETs. I'm going to put a link to that video above. If those MOSFETs are broken, your printer will not power up at all. So today's question, is it possible that the FET working, but the driver chip is not working? Okay. And how can I know the driver chip is not working? There's no error code, and the printer just behave normally. Only thing is the ink doesn't come out. That's a tough one. So if we go to bchdiagnostic.com, we're looking for ET8550. Driver chip, and those are the MOSFETs. Usually those printers using 041B or 041A chip, they're pretty much the same. You can use one instead of other. Usually 041B, they go with two silver MOSFETs, and 041A goes with two black MOSFETs. Let me do 041B. And here's the chip. And here's the three piece. It's the chip plus MOSFETs. Here's only the chip. So this chip takes over take over the signal from the CPU and energize the two MOSFETs. Usually the bottom MOSFET is for the energy reservoir, the 42 volts, and the top MOSFET is for the COM ports. I try to create a GPT infograph to show you how the MOSFET works, but yeah, it's even complicated than I thought to explain it. So just remember the drain is positive, okay? So actually in the YouTube, I got this nice video. Not me, it's somebody electronic applications. This guy created this video. So basically this is what he come up with to explain to you. And so anyway, just imagine this is your CPU. You want to control if the current flow or not. So you have a smaller current here that you control. And the real 42 volts, whatever on the COM ports, going to flow this way. The drain is positive, and then the flow to the source. Remember, for the MOSFET we have, drain, the gate and the source are in the middle. Okay, it's inside, and outside is the drain. So we got a CPU here. If the printer turns on, you already know the CPU is working. The signal gets sent to the driver chip here, which energizes two MOSFETs here, same thing here. So we already know the silver side is the drain. So how about we just measure the voltage on the drain? So we get a multimeter. We're going to use the red probe to touch the top of those silver caps. Okay, just like this. And we're going to put the black on the ground. For the ground, you can just find a really large metal surface area, and that'll be your ground. We touch the MOSFET on the bottom, and you can see it's 42 volts. And we touch on the top, and you can see it's 24 volts. So at the idle stage, the output is correctly. However, I've seen driver chip that's when you start printing, it doesn't send off any variable voltages. So we're going to test the set on the right. And the bottom is also 42. That's the reservoir. The MOSFET on the top is 6.3 volts. You can see it's a lot lower than the first set. All right, since my hand is here, I'm just keep measuring this second set. I start the printer and make start printing, and you're going to see what the voltage look like. You can see it goes to 6 to 9 and go lower, higher, and that's a working driver chip. All right, I'm going to test the first set of the MOSFETs and the driver chip. You remember at idle, it was 21 volts. And look at this. So you get two sets. One set is take care of the higher voltage. Okay, so both sides of the driver chip working. Next video, we can talk about the channels, and we're going to put our probe on each of those pins. I can explain you how to troubleshoot while printing, and so you can figure out if there is something wrong with your signal or there is something wrong with your filter. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this video. Visit us at bchtechnologies.com or locally, Greensboro, North Carolina. Cheers!